Jazz hands.
Hi guys, how are y'all?
Yeah.
You know what I'm excited about for you guys, both of you guys right now?
What?
No, what?
Is that this is going to live, I mean, the internet, I doubt is going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to live on in perpetuity. Like the
Yeah.
jazz hands, like
Yeah.
this archive that we're creating. And I'm just so glad that I get to help like facilitate aspects of it. It's awesome.
So what if I hear you correctly?
Yeah.
You're suggesting that neither Kim or I are going to make it in perpetuity, however you say,
Perpetuity.
in perpetuity.
Perpetuity.
But but videos of us will. We will live on long after we're gone.
You got talking to the mic, Pops. We
We will live on.
I think we might
Yes,
have
thousands of
almost
years
too
from now.
much fun for the internet, you guys. Too much fun.
Yes.
Potentially. Kim, maybe you'll have to join us. I know we haven't talked about this, but maybe you'll have to join us for a live stream someday because those are quite fun as well. And Ray and I, my dad and I, we've been talking about like some drinking game ideas that we can incorporate into live streams. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That sounds great. I am in.
So here's what we're talking about
Yeah.
today, Kimberly. We were going to discuss
Yes.
I guess not validity, but just like how much you actually get out of the different products that you buy in the F&I office, the vehicle service contracts, the tire and wheel protection, the gap insurance, the dent and scratch. I mean, like what instances do they actually cover things? And I guess more importantly, just like kind of some burn stories or situations where you thought you were covered, but you're not, just to kind of bring awareness to the types of products that are out there and what people are getting themselves into.
Well, yeah, I thought we could just kind of talk about, have you ever used them, Zach? Have you ever had to use any one of these plans, these extras for your vehicle?
I mean, my situation was particularly crappy because on my Volvo, which we've done a bunch of videos on the Volvo that I sold, how many tires did I get through, Dad?
A number, quite a
Quite
number.
I think I went through 8
Oh
tires,
my
Kimberly,
gosh.
in
Yeah.
about 10 months.
What?
Low
What
profile
were you
tires, lots
doing,
of
Zach?
potholes. It was insane. It was truly insane. And so I spent, it must have been $1,500, $2,000 on tires. Getting tires replaced because they were like fancy Michelin Pilot Sport tires on this like old man car that I shouldn't have been driving to begin with, but it's okay. Why did your auto advocate let me buy it, you say? I don't know. But
Because you wanted it.
Did you use it? Were you
And
able
sometime-
to use it?
oh, I put a lot of miles on that car, yeah.
But were you able to take advantage of any tire and wheel?
So to that point, after the 8th tire issue, I went to the local Volvo dealership and I didn't negotiate at all because I wasn't even thinking about it at the time. This was like 2 years ago. I bought tire and wheel protection and it was like $1,500 or $1,600. And I was like, okay, well, I've spent $2,000. It'll definitely be worth it. And then I had the car for about another year. I never used it once, and then I canceled it and got a prorated refund minus $50 for the policy. So I had a really not great experience with it because I bought it and then I never used it, but I got the prorated refund back. So to me, it felt worth it. And I never put a claim against it, so I got like the full refund. But that's the only experience I've ever had, and it never actually really applied. And it just seems like divine intervention that the moment I spent the money to buy the policy, I never actually had another, bubble in my tire or something like that.
It does seem like that sometimes with people. They'll say, I bought everything last time and I never used any of it. And that does happen.
Yeah.
I have had to use myself. I've used the key care because those keys are ridiculously expensive and I have lost them.
Yes, they are.
So it was kind of nice. Like I didn't have to pay or wait very long. They just, made a new one for me really fast. There it was. It was great. Now my son, I did put a maintenance plan for him on his vehicle. He's got a Volkswagen Golf, a 17 Volkswagen Golf. But he lives in Cleveland, and it's got those low-profile tires and wheels and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And there are potholes the size of Texas in Cleveland. So he also had some issues with tires and bending the rims or the wheels. So the plan did pay for all of that, and he made out with it too because I didn't realize how expensive those wheels really are. They're crazy expensive. But with that being said, there was one that it wouldn't pay for, and of course you got to balance them all out. So we went to I believe it was NTB, and ended up getting, their tires came with a kind of like a VSC or an extended contract for all of them. and it was so cheap. It was cheaper than what I put on there for him. So, yeah, you just kind of got to weigh if you're a person that loses keys all the time, then it definitely paid for me. Now, let's talk about VSC, vehicle service contracts.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people that have used their vehicle service contracts. And I know a lot of people that never, ever used them and then just stopped buying them because of that. Have you ever had any experience with that?
Well, I know of people that have this is how I was going to frame it for you, because you probably have a little more knowledge than I do on this. What do you think is a percentage of people who buy these different protection programs that actually end up ever filing a claim? I'm guessing that it's relatively low, that it's less than 25% of all people who buy these products ever actually make a claim.
And through my experience of being at the same dealership for 9 years and knowing people, it's much higher than that.
Okay.
And the
Very
other thing
cool.
you need to kind of discuss is like new and used. The claims are higher on used than they are new. So it
Yes,
depends on where
yes.
you're at in your ownership. But I would say it's definitely higher than 25%. But I don't know. I just don't know, Ray. Honestly, I think it's a crapshoot. You know, they're man-made machines, so who knows?
I feel like a lot of people think that they get burnt when they have these products. So, you know, they've had experiences in the past where, well, I was sold this extended warranty, which we all know it's not actually an extended warranty. It's a vehicle service contract. And then I took it in and then nothing was covered. You know, I'm never doing that again. And so I think a lot of people have that type of experience in the past, and then they become a bit reticent towards purchasing them again in the future. And that's something we run into all the time now that we offer VSCs through our partner. You know, a lot of the phone calls that we have are, well, so will this actually cover anything? And it's like, well, yes, of course it covers a considerable amount of things, but look at the list of exclusions. That's also quite long, you know, and that's the industry practice. Your factory extended warranty or the manufacturer warranty is an exclusionary warranty,
Absolutely.
right, Kimberly? It means the reason it's called bumper to bumper is because it covers everything bumper to bumper, except for what's excluded.
Except for that column of exclusions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so as a car buyer, it becomes challenging to, you know, if I have one negative experience, in my case with tire and wheels, pretty cut and dry. My tires and my wheels are covered. I should have aimed for more potholes.
Yeah, especially towards the end. Should have gotten your
Now
money's
here's
worth.
something.
But with a VSC,
If you have a
it's different.
child
Yeah.
that's going away to college, like I did, I wanted to make sure that he, kind of as an incentive for him to go get his maintenance done on the vehicle, which he was really, really good about. But,
Yeah.
you know, I did put a Volkswagen maintenance plan on there for him because it also covered the big ones too, where you had to shell out a lot of money for the 40,000 and the 60,000 mile maintenance. But you know, it just depends on your situation. If you have a child that's going away, that's going to school in another state or something, and you want your son or daughter to have all of that covered because they're away from you, it sometimes is a good idea.
And you don't want them to ever have to make the choice between actually maintaining their vehicle or taking care of an issue on the vehicle or making the rent or buying food. So sometimes having these packages on the cars, the maintenance, a vehicle service contract, it gives you a little bit of peace of mind in the sense that if you were to have an issue, then you're covered. It's not going to cost you money out of your pocket. You're not going to have to make a difficult decision. And right now, where we are in this country, there's a lot of people having to make a lot of difficult decisions.
That's true, Ray. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I do think, however, we should probably do a follow-up video. I can do some research. I can dig and find some VSC companies out there that make their contracts publicly available. I know there's some like direct-to-consumer ones, and we should just put it up on the screen and we should look at the exclusions and talk about them, because I think that would be a super helpful video for our audience. Okay, so what is this line that says if I tow and I accidentally tow a little bit more than the manufacturer's suggested amount, does that mean now that everything's void? And it's like, yeah.
And so I actually think
that would be as we're having this conversation about, are they worthwhile? Are these ancillary products worthwhile? And it's like you always say, they're health insurance. You get them and you hope you never use them. But we should definitely go through line by line on a couple of those to help.
Well, and there's certain things that line by line doesn't really matter, and that is the abuse clause, whether it be on a vehicle service contract or it's on the factory warranty. In that, if you abuse the vehicle, if you don't do the scheduled maintenance as they're required, and then that can void your warranty. And I have seen manufacturers, I've seen many turn down customers that have engine issues because, well, they never changed the oil in their car. They've got 36,000 miles and they don't have oil in the engine anymore. They have sludge in the engine. Well, that's the consumer's fault, not the manufacturer's fault.
I always used to tell my customer, because that was often a question. Well, what do I have to do, to keep this vehicle up? Well, nothing really except your normal maintenance on the car. And I would always tell my customers, don't bring it in here with a blown engine because you didn't change the oil. They're not gonna cover that. So there's some things you got to do to take care of your car.
Okay, now Kimberly, I don't know if you can see it from your end, but Pops, the posture, man. Let's see. Come on, bring the shoulders up, get the hips back. You see that, Kimberly?
I do.
There it is.
There he goes.
Eyes closed again. He's thinking hard.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what it's like to work for your 25-year-old son?
I know he's tough. He's really tough on you too, Ray. I've seen it. He's tough.
I think he figures he can get away with more with me than, say, with some of the other people on the team.
Okay, well, just comment down below if my dad's posture looks better now than it did 45 seconds ago. Your posture looks great now.
Great. Great. Thank you. Thank you for my posture
update for Ray.
Yes. PU for you. PU, posture update.
All right, Kimberly. Well, I appreciate your time like always. I think we're going to have some follow-up videos where we dissect some of these programs and products so that we can bring, some awareness to what is and isn't covered, some of the responsibilities as a car buyer and a car owner.
That's
I think those would be really helpful videos. But for today, I feel like we've done our due diligence. We've
done something, whether it was diligent or not. We did something.
This is very true.
Yeah.
We do our best.
Well, thank you, Kimberly. Thank you for the great ideas today.
Thank you guys, and have a good time out there. Don't have too much fun.
Well, I'm going to go track down the guy with the leaf blower and see if I can
Run!
if maybe I can help him out.
See you guys.